Southern California Land Rover retailers. Take a look at the National League West picture right now. Still 2 games separating the Giants and the Dodgers, and Giants and Diamondbacks playing in San Francisco. No score in the bottom of the first inning. Hi again, everybody. Along with Nomar Garciaparra, I'm Tim Neverett. Kirsten Watson will join us shortly. At one point this year, the Padres had won 7 out of 10 games against the Dodgers. The Dodgers have now won 7 straight and have guaranteed themselves a season series victory. They've been dominant over San Diego.
Yeah, they really have, especially since the season turned to the second half. The Dodgers really have turned it on against the San Diego Padres. I mean, this is a Padres team that we're talking about contention for that wild card spot, but it was until mid-August when everything seemed to fall apart. They've had one of the worst records in all of Major Leagues, but the Dodgers have really shown them and done a great job against them.
Look at that, 3 for 6 for Hosmer, 2 for 51 for the rest of the team. And the guy that's going to be throwing the ball tonight could put a stranglehold on the Cy Young Award for the 4th time, Max Scherzer.
Yeah, another tie to the San Diego Padres, because it was right around that halfway mark where they think the Padres thought they may have a chance at Max Scherzer, but instead it was the Dodgers that were able to get him coming over to LA, and all he's done since he's been in that Dodger uniform has been dominant. And his last time against the Padres, he was nearly perfect.
7-0 since joining the Dodgers, an ERA of 1.43, and the Dodgers have not lost a game in his 10 starts. Let's check in with Kirsten Watson.
Thanks, Tim. When it comes to the National League batting title, Trey Turner's name is at the top of the conversation. Last night he had 3 hits. His average is a 3.25. And so when I spoke with him last night about the conversation with this National League batting title, he told me that it's not one that he thinks about. But he did say that there is a friendly competition between him and Juan Soto, his former teammate with the Nationals, and that Juan actually texted him last night saying that he is coming for him, guys.
It's a good battle to the end, Trey Turner and Juan Soto. Fans pouring into Dodger Stadium. Great night for baseball at the Ravine. Dodgers Padres coming up. Dodger Stadium on a Wednesday night with Nomar Garciaparra. I'm Tim Neverett. Kirsten Watson with us. Take a look at the Padres lineup. Leading off will be Adam Frazier. Jake Cronenworth at shortstop. No Fernando Tatis Jr. tonight. Manny Machado hitting 3rd. Eric Hosmer in the cleanup spot. Then Pham Grisham. Jurickson Profar, the switch hitter, plays right field. And the switch hitting catcher Victor Caratini will bat 8th with Ryan Weathers hitting 9th. Our Land Rover Performance Spotlight gotta be Max Scherzer. An immaculate inning. 3 outs, 3 strikeouts, 9 pitches. Also his 3,000th career strikeout coming in the same game. And oh, by the way, he had a perfecto going in the 7th. But went 8 and shut him out through 8. Making his 30th start of the season tonight.
He really has just been unbelievable over his entire career. It's really hard to fathom. As you look at his ERA, right now is currently 1st in MLB as far as the lowest ERA is concerned. But he finishes under 2.5. That would be the best in his career, be under 2.5. And he just seems to be getting better and better with age.
Well, the first pitch of the ball game is outside ball 1, and we are underway. Trip Gibson, the home plate umpire tonight. 294 against Scherzer is Adam Frazier, 307 overall. And the pitch outside ball 2. So yesterday, Max Scherzer threw a bullpen in the Dodger blue uniforms, the City Connect uniforms. He always throws his bullpens in full uni, which is really old school. 2-0, swung out, popped up, and Mookie Betts will drift underneath it. And that is your first out of the ball game. Frazier flies to Betts, 1 down.
Yeah, since Max Scherzer has come over to the Dodgers, there's a few things that people had to learn about Max Scherzer, such as his bullpen, throwing in full uni. And Dave Roberts, I'm sure, learned that, okay, don't touch him when the day he's pitching.
He was the only guy early in the day that had the blue pants, the blue game pants, and the blue uniform on, because that's the uniform they were wearing last night. Everybody else had their white game pants on yesterday beforehand. Jake Cronenworth, the shortstop. Strike 1. But one thing Scherzer has never wavered from since the first time he took the mound is his intensity when he takes the hill and how he attacks the opponent. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cronenworth. Cronenworth at 270. 21 home runs. He had a home run last night in the 9th inning off of Blake Trinan. That was the only Padres score of the game. It was a 2-1 game, Nomar, but it seemed a lot different than that. It seemed like the Dodgers were further ahead, but mathematically it was only 2-1 at the end.
No, you're right, and I think you feel like the Dodgers had more runs in those 2 runs because of all the men they had left on base. They had 35 men stranded on base. They had a lot of opportunities, runners in scoring position, but also just from a pitching standpoint, they looked like they were in control. From the way Buehler pitched was outstanding, and the bullpen coming in and doing their job again.
Walker Buehler did the job last night. That was the Walker Buehler everybody's accustomed to seeing. 7 very strong innings. 2-2. And a ground ball right back to Scherzer. He'll lob it over to Muncy for the out. 2 gone. So Manny Machado coming up. He has struck out 19 times in his career against Scherzer, just hitting 136. StatCast powered by Google Clouds. He's 2015. Scherzer has put some ownage on Machado.
Those are all the pitches that he finishes them off. I'm trying to figure out all the pitches that he got the other strikes on against him. To strike out a good hitter like Machado 19 times, but sometimes there's just guys that you don't see well and that they have your number.
First pitch to Machado, swung on and looped into shallow left field, and that's going to get down for a base hit, 2-out single.
He just saw the graphic.
He did.
See, it's like, I'm going to change that right now. Why waste time? Especially we saw all the put away pitches, all strike 3s on him. Probably going, why would I even wait till I get to that moment? Why get 2 strikes if I get a pitch I can handle? Get off the end of the bat, base hit.
The Padres with a hit in the first inning. Last night they didn't have a hit until the 5th inning. And Eric Hosmer had an hit away from the shift. Hosmer had 2 hits last night. And he'll take a strike here. But Hosmer seems to be the only guy to have any success in the last couple of games against the Dodgers. He's 3 for 6. A .256 hitter with 2 home runs against Scherzer. The 0-1 now to Hosmer. That's fouled off.
Yeah, he's the one who's had success, and it's not like he's really also crushed those balls. Against Walker Buehler, he had that chopper for the first base hit against Buehler, and then he had another one that just kind of stayed inside line, going the other way, found the hole. They weren't necessarily hard hits, but they were effective hits.
2 down, Machado at first base, and an 0-2 count on Hosmer. And Scherzer fires. A little bit low, ball 1, 1-2. Scherzer with the top ERA in Major League Baseball, 2.28. It's the first time in his career he's had an ERA under 2.50. So over his long career, this is the best ERA he has had at this point of the season. Go to first, just to let him know you're there. Machado does have 12 steals. And last night, again, we documented the numbers in terms of the stolen base. The Padres, when they get a man on, they love to run. 1-2 from Scherzer to Hosmer. 2-2. The last start for Scherzer in Colorado, a place where he has had trouble. He does not have a win in Colorado in his career. He allowed 5 earned runs on 6 hits. Got a no decision. Dodgers would win the game though, 7-5. Proved that he's human. 2-2 to Hosmer. And he goes the other way for a base hit. A 2-out single. There's 2 on for San Diego.
Hosmer heard us as well. Machado saw the graphic. Hosmer heard us talking about the hits were necessarily hard hits that he had. Well, that one was definitely a hard hit. Did a great job getting the barrel to the top of the zone. Just going the other way. A nice line drive the other way. You know, you're talking about Scherzer, and you're talking about his last outing where he gave up 5 runs. And yet his ERA is still at a 2.2 after giving up those 5 runs.
It's amazing.
It really is.
At 2.28 to start the night. Corbin Burns of Milwaukee at 2.29. He is slated to pitch Saturday against the Dodgers here when Milwaukee comes in. And ball 1 delivered to Tommy Pham. Pham playing left field. Former St. Louis Cardinal. Speaking of the Cardinals, they won 17 straight. They are in danger of having that streak end, as they've got a 4-0 deficit against Milwaukee in St. Louis tonight. They're in the bottom of the 8th. 1-0. It's in for a strike. Through the slider. Now, as a hitter preparing to face Max Scherzer, what as a hitter would you hate about having to face Max Scherzer?
You know what? Everything, because the way his ball just explodes. He also does a good job hiding the ball, but you also he talks about sequence so much. You can't anticipate what's coming in any count. So if you're heading the count, you're like 1-0, you're like, oh, he doesn't want to fall behind me 2-0. Let me look for that fastball. Or if you're 2-0 and you're like, of course he's going to come with my fastball. He doesn't want to get behind. He'll throw a changeup. He'll throw a slider. He'll throw a different pitch. Also, the way to put you away, you're like, okay, I'm behind 2 strikes. What's he going to come at me? He'll change it up every time.
The 2-1 to Tommy Pham. Runners off first and second. Pham hits a ground ball left side. Seager with a backhand. A long throw to first on target. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Scherzer through his first inning. Ryan Weathers coming out to face the Dodgers. Look for another win against San Diego. Looking for win number 102 on the season. Corey Seager, Trey Turner. There's .325 batting average, batting third. Will Smith in the cleanup spot tonight. Then Max Muncy, A.J. Pollock. Chris Taylor gets the start at third. Justin Turner gets the night off tonight. And Gavin Lux is in center field batting 8th, with Max Scherzer batting 9th against Ryan Weathers. Making his 18th start. He had actually been demoted to the bullpen not long ago. And out of necessity, lack of starting pitching, the Padres put him back in the rotation.
Yeah, this is his first start since the end of August. And over the last 8 starts that he had prior to that, he is 0-5 with an ERA over 10. And you're like, oh, wow, he struggled. But he has had a lot of success against the Dodgers early in April. 2 starts against the Dodgers in April. And pitched 9 1/3 scoreless innings combined in those 2 starts. He's faced them 3 times this season and has an ERA under 1 versus the Dodgers. So he's had struggles, but Dodgers need to find a way to figure them out.
1 ball, 1 strike. So against the Dodgers, he's done okay. Remember, he made his major league debut against the Dodgers in the division series last year. So he didn't make his debut until the postseason, game 1. Dodgers would sweep the Padres in the division series. Went 1 1/3, didn't allow a hit, had 1 strikeout and 2 walks. Bat swings, hits one down the line. It's hooking. Long and loud foul ball.
You know, we talked about those last 8 starts that he's had. He's given up 11 home runs over those last 8 starts. He's been susceptible to the long ball, but in the 3 times he's faced the Dodgers, hasn't given up a home run.
Here's the 1-2. That's up high, 2-2. Ryan Weathers, of course, the son of former big league pitcher David Weathers. Two. That's fisted foul. And if Max Scherzer doesn't want to know, maybe he should close his ears when I tell you about this, if he doesn't want to feel old. September 14th, 2008, Max Scherzer started a game for the Arizona Diamondbacks in which Ryan Weathers' dad was the winning pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. 2-2. This one is hit in the air to shallow left. Out goes the shortstop Cronenworth, a long way to make the play. Betts is 0 for 1. Not an easy play, Nomar.
He went a long way for this. You also see where the left fielder was playing. This is all shortstop. Kind of have the hound out. Some of those where you take a peek prior to that ball being hit and you see where your outfielder is playing, so you have awareness. Those you're going, okay, I don't think they're coming in. This is all me. You just have to focus on making the catch.
One out, base is empty for Corey Seager. He swings to the first pitch, drives it a long way to left. Tommy Pham on the run. He won't get it. It's off the wall. Around first and into second is Corey Seager with his 20th double of the season.
We keep talking about it. He is always ready when he steps into the batter's box. He gets a fastball on the outer half, puts a good swing on it and drives it the other way. And I think at first thought he had a beat on it, but it just kept tailing away from him, and the way it was driven, he had no chance but to play it off the wall.
Seager in scoring position for Trey Turner. Trey had 3 hits last night. He's got a 14-game hitting streak currently. Well, there's a long look in at Caratini. Now the young lefty set on the hill. Turner swings, fouls it off. Strike 1 to Trey. 325. Juan Soto 318. Nick Castellanos was 1-2 with Turner for a while, but he has backed off a little bit. Bryce Harper still in the race, and there's Adam Frazier sneaking in there. But a long way back from Trey Turner. Strike 2. I love what Kirsten told us during the open, that Juan Soto, Trey's former teammate, texted him and said, "I'm coming for you." Yeah. But I also chuckled when I heard Trey tell Kirsten last night after the game, "I don't care about the batting title. That's something for my mom to keep track
yes. of." For my mom and also Juan Soto.
Yeah, right. Soto apparently is keeping a close eye on it. This one's up in the air, foul, first base side. Hosmer on the run, but it is twisting out of play. Now, last night, Trey Turner, just another multi-hit game, 3 for 5 with a double, a run batted in, and a run scored. He also stole a base last night, so he's got the league lead in that category with 32. You can tell by that uniform he played a little baseball last night. 311 hitter with runners in scoring position too. Ryan Weathers ahead of Trey Turner. No balls and 2 strikes. A little bit low, 1-2. But in that game that Ryan Weathers' dad pitched against Scherzer, Johnny Cueto started that one for the Reds in 2008. It was a 2-1 game, by the way. There were a lot of pitchers used. In fact, Weathers was in the right place at the right time. He was the second to last pitcher used. The Reds used 7 pitchers, and Francisco Cordero came in for his 31st save that night. Max Scherzer pitched 6 innings. He gave up just 1 earned run on 2 hits. Could not get the win. John Roush got the loss in relief. Big tall right-hander. There's a shot to the hole left side, a base hit. Seager's going to get waved home. He's around third. Throw is cut off by Machado. It's 1-0 Dodgers. Trey Turner, a 15-game hitting streak, and he drives in Seager to get the Dodgers on the board.
I'll tell you, this is such a good read by Dino Ebel. This ball is hit hard in the hole, and watch, you see Corey Seager kind of hesitate to see the ball get through because it's hit to his right side. There's one out. That's what they're supposed to do. And Dino Ebo reading the outfielder, reading the way that ball is hit, and then having Corey Seager wave him in, and he scores easily. He is so prepared before any pitch is made.
Now Will Smith with one out. He swings, hits a drive, left center field and deep. This ball is going to be caught at the wall. Trent Grisham right up against the left center field wall, records the out on Will Smith. That's a long out.
Gets a fastball over the heart of the plate. He puts a good swing on it. He's thinking, did I get enough of it? Did I get enough backspin, or did I get underneath it too much? And by that reaction and by the way Grisham goes back and ends up coming to getting that catch, he got under it just a hair too much.
Well, 2 men out. Here's Max Muncy. Turner at second base. Dodgers up 1-0 in the first. Ball one to Max.
Look at Max Muncy's average there since August 19th. He's struggling a bit. And now's the time to just not even worry about that. Get back, get that confidence when you step into the batter's box. I'll tell you, a 2-out RBI right here can really boost your confidence.
.331 with runners in scoring position. Last night Max reached base twice but without a hit. And this one into right field, a base hit. Turner's going to fly around third. He'll score. Muncy with a 2-out RBI single, and it's 2-0 Dodgers. '91st RBI for Muncy.
Great job by Max Muncy. I mean, he gets a ball in the inner half, gets a ball he can handle. He puts a good swing on it. He hits the ball hard, finds the outfield. And even we were just talking about the average since the middle of August. And it's a low average, but there have been times where he's hit the ball hard and hasn't been rewarded for it. That one, good swing, hits it hard, big RBI.
A.J. Pollock facing Weathers, and he looks at a ball low. So the Dodgers with 2 runs on the board for the first 2/3 of an inning of the ball game for them, and that matches their run total from 9 innings last night. They did it with 5 batters tonight.
2 for 3 in this first inning. Runners in scoring position. They were 2 for 11 the entire game.
This one's driven to left and deep. Going back, Fan. He looks up. It's gone. A 2-run home run. A.J. Pollock. 4-0 Dodgers.
They want this ball away. You see Caratini set up looking for that fastball down and away. That ball goes over the middle of the plate. He misses his spot. And A.J. Pollock puts a great swing and very thoughtful. That's a great catch out there by a fan, appreciating the souvenir from A.J. Pollock. We have 2 people with their hands up. A fan out there and A.J. when he comes into the dugout.
So the exit velocity was over 100 miles an hour. So I hope that fan's hand feels all right.
He's fine. You kidding me? Makes a great catch. The adrenaline is going. He's like, man, it was well worth it. Maybe tomorrow he'll feel it. He's like, why are my hands red?
384 feet on the home run. A 5-game hitting streak now for A.J. And during that time, he's 6 for 14, 4 extra base hits, 6 runs batted in. Chris Taylor trying to get the bat going again.
And I'm sure the fan out there probably has a cold beverage that he's just gripping with both hands right now, just to, help him out. But
is that what you use those for?
That's what
just to ice down?
Yep. Sometimes you just say, hey, listen, I need an ice cold beverage, please, for my hands. Just caught a ball barehanded. So I don't want to shake my hands and act like it hurt. So I'll just kind of.
He's got to do social media first.
Yeah.
Then he'll get the ice on the hand.
Here. Take the hand out of it because you don't want to show how red the hand is right now. Just show the ball only. Just a little bit of your fingers. So.
Yeah, but those home run seats, that's what they're for.
Yes.
Catch balls like that. CT takes a strike here, 2-1. So nice this year to have the fans enjoy those seats. Last year it was just the cardboard cutouts the first time they were available. And to see fans out there this year just really taking advantage is wonderful. Well, Jeremy Riggs, the umpire, rings up the strike there, so the count 2-2.
From that angle, you can see that he went.
Full count. So good to see A.J. Pollock swing the bat the way that he is.
Especially spending time on the IL with that hamstring, which I'm sure he's still dealing with and being very careful with.
2-out walk, and Taylor is aboard. First walk of the inning for Weathers. Weathers hadn't given up a home run, by the way, in the month of September.
Center fielder.
But over his 6 outings prior to that, which included 5 starts, he had surrendered 11. And that was one of the reasons that Jace Tingler put him back in the bullpen. But injury challenged at the starting pitcher spot, he was summoned from the bullpen to come back into the rotation. Making his 18th start of the season. 8th man to hit in the Dodger first is Gavin Lux. Taylor back. $11 out of 14 hit safely. So his last 14 games, a 400 average, 400 even, 4 extra base hits. He's scored 10 runs, he's driven in 9.
And since he's been recalled up to the big leagues, really has been swinging the bat well. Confident when he steps into the batter's box.
Lines this one right at Machado, is playing over there in the shift. But a good inning for the Dodgers as they plate 4. A couple of doubles, Seager and Trey Turner. But A.J. Pollock with the big blow here into the home run seats. It's 4-0 after 1.
Well, fans, it's Keys to the Game brought to you by your Southern California Lexus dealers. Well, 10-5, 10 hits, 5 runs is what you strive to get as an offense. For the Dodgers, last 4 games have only averaged 2.8 runs and only 7 hits. They need to help Gilligan get off the island. They've stranded 35 runners over the last 4 games, including 13 last night. They've already done a better job tonight. And then finally, Cy Young. A Cy Young performance tonight would not only help the Dodgers for a victory, but highly increase Max Scherzer's chances at a 4th Cy Young award.
And Scherzer ready to go against Trent Grisham. Starts him inside for ball 1. Since June 12th, his average has dipped way down, 211. So just 239 for the season. Had a good start to the year. 1-0's popped back and way out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Scherzer in his final regular season start tonight. He is lined up for either game 163, the wild card game, or the first game of the division series, whatever it happens to be after the next 5 are over. And a line shot at Mookie Betts, and he makes the grab. Oh, a hot shot right at Mookie, and he hung with it.
Not an easy play. Line drive, a hard hit. It's one of those two, you're fighting the lights here just a little bit, staying with it. Grass stains and all out there. Max Scherzer appreciates the effort.
That might not come out.
No, I mean, are you kidding me? Clubhouse people here at Dodger Stadium, oh, they have the best stuff. They'll get that right out.
Swing by Profar and a miss. Yeah, the clubhouse crew here may not get enough credit, but I know the players for both the visiting team and, of course, the home team, they all know. They all know that this crew here is remarkably good.
Second to none.
They've been together a long time. Long time. Of course, Alex Torres runs the home clubhouse, and Mitch Poole runs the visitors clubhouse. Jerry Turner runs the umpires room. The best around. The 0-2 pitch. That's low to Profar. Max came with a changeup. Scherzer has thrown 16, make that now 17 full innings against the Padres in 2 starts that are scoreless. Struck out 19 batters over his last 2 starts against them. Has allowed only 5 hits. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. And a line shot right at Seager. Thank you. 2 down. Well, fans of Dodger pitchers strike out 10 hitters tonight. Everyone gets a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink, valid only at LA area restaurants. When you look at the Cy Young Award, how prestigious award it is, these are the candidates right here. Scherzer, Corbin Burns, Zach Wheeler of Philadelphia. Then you've got 2 other Dodgers who are in it as well. Julio Urias, who could get his 20th win. And then Walker Buehler, who is lined up to pitch on Sunday, the finale, but that could change.
Yeah, a lot could change going down the stretch here. What was impressive about that list really is to see 3 Dodger pitchers on that list, and all deserving.
There could be a change Sunday. I guess the Dodgers have said that Buehler may not necessarily pitch. Again, they're talking about it. They're looking at different scenarios. What happens if they're pitching for a tie, or if they're pitching perhaps for the division title? What'll happen on Sunday? What happens if everything's decided by Sunday? Then that might make the answer easier. This one is sliced down the left field side and a long way, and it is gone. That's a home run. Caratini with a solo shot. It was an absolute frozen rope down the left field line, just tucking inside the left field foul pole. It's his 7th home run of the season.
Pitcher number 40, Ryan Weathers.
Well, they want this ball up in the zone, and they get it. And Caratini does a great job hitting this ball. Same thing that Hosmer did. He got a ball up in the zone and drove it the other way. This one was also just perfectly placed right there in the corner. The low wall.
22nd home run that has been allowed by Scherzer this season.
I know he's discussed that it went out. And sometimes you also got to give the hitter some credit there for getting to that ball.
Yeah, right to Taylor. Well, Weathers lines out, but the home run by Caratini gets the Padres on the board. World Champion Dodgers Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the SoCal BMW Centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Fans, join us tomorrow night when the Dodgers take on the Padres and bring home your own piece of history. Backed by popular demand, the first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a 2020 World Series replica ring courtesy of Bank of America. To purchase, visit Dodgers.com/tickets or scan the QR code displayed on the screen. We'll hold it up there. Go ahead, get your phone. Find your QR code app. Hit that. It'll still be there for you.
Okay.
Yep.
Leading off the bottom of the second
You
inning
got
for
it?
the Dodgers.
Oh, I purchased the tickets.
Max Scherzer.
All right. So Max Scherzer. All right, last chance for Max Scherzer to get a hit this year. It's 0 for 57. So he'll have some ABs tonight to try to get that base hit. Pitch from Weathers. That's in for a strike. So Max will lead off, then back to the top of the order, Mookie Betts and Corey Seager. Weathers 0-1. Up high. Now you got to figure for San Diego tonight, the bullpen will get some usage. But Jace Tingler wants to get at least a few innings of coverage from Ryan Weathers. One and two with a slider. Last year when he did make his debut in the postseason, here's the 1-2, and Max swings and strikes out. So he is 0 for 1 and back to the top of the order, Mookie Betts. But just talking about that postseason appearance, you thought you were looking at the future of the San Diego Padres pitching staff. I mean, he looked so good on the big stage at a young age. He's had some flashes of brilliance, though, but he's had his struggles as well this year.
He looked great in the postseason, and then looking at the beginning of this season, and especially against the Dodgers. Talked about he had two starts against the Dodgers in April and didn't allow a run.
Weathers to face Betts. Mookie 0 for 1. One area you got to be careful with Weathers is if you're on first base, because he leads Major League Baseball with 9 pickoffs. So he's got a great move to first. Dodgers have to be wary of that. 2 balls, no strikes to Mookie. And Weathers just 21 years of age. A little crispness in the air tonight. Beautiful night at the ballpark. Great seats. 3-0 to Mookie. So tonight Milwaukee has hung on to beat the Cardinals 4-0. So their 17-game winning streak is now over. And the Brewers get a win in St. Louis tonight. All 4-pitch walk to Betts. So Betts will keep an eye on the move by Weathers.
You see the frustration in Weathers. That's what he's had struggles with so far in this game, is really his command of his pitches. Just with the base on balls, it's already a second one in 2 innings, but the hits, the home runs, all missing the spots, and the Dodgers able to take advantage.
Corey Seager's cranked things up lately. His last 6 games, he's 9 for 21. That's a .429 average. Foul tip for strike 1. And of those 9 hits, 4 of them have gone for extra base hits. And he's driven in 4. No balls, 1 strike to Corey Seager. Betts at first base and 1 man out. Dodgers with a 4-run first. A home run by A.J. Pollock leading the way. Corey is now in the hole 0-2.
After Corey gets a fastball in the outer half and drives it the other way in his first at bat, very first pitch he sees, going, let's try to pound him in.
Seager facing Weathers, who's making his first start since the 28th of August. Just about a month. Throw to first, and Betts steps back quickly. You know, the Padres haven't helped out Weathers all that much either. They have lost each of his last 8 starts. And in those outings, he's 0-5 with a 10.46 ERA. And he's surrendered 11 home runs. You sort of get the feeling the Dodgers aren't done hitting the ball
Well, he missed
a long way.
He missed his spot right there on that breaking ball. They wanted that breaking ball down and away, and it didn't get there. And I know Corey Seager is probably frustrated with himself that, ooh, that was a ball I could handle, possibly drive, and I didn't.
That's being held on by Hosmer. And that's up high. You played first base too. You know what it was like to hold runners on. What do you make of the way that Hosmer does it, where he stands a couple of feet off the bag instead of close to it?
He's played first base a long time as well. You know, there he's probably, you know, just the angle that he likes to be there, probably also to cover more the.
That one ripped fair down the line. Betts around second on his way to third. Seager on his way to second. Mookie being waved home. Here comes the throw. Mookie slides. He's safe. 5-1 Dodgers. Corey Seager with his second double of the ball game. And boy, Mookie can fly around the bases.
What do I make of it? Well, I was thinking, oh, he's trying to cover more of that hole, not expecting the ball right down the line. If he was on first base, he probably would have had that ball, stayed right with it. He's probably going, great, I'm getting off just to cover maybe a little bit more ground. You know, you have a guy that holds runners on really well. You're probably not worried about the stolen base, thinking about more coverage. But he finds the line, and great hustle by Mookie Betts.
Yeah, Mookie came around second. He immediately picked up Dino Ebel, the third base coach, so he knew that he was going to fly home. Now Trey Turner, 1 for 1 with a double and a run batted in. Fouls it back, strike one.
Dodgers were just 4 for 22 last night with men on base. So far, they are 4 for 6. They're turning the page.
Turner up to 326 now as he awaits the 0-1 pitch. One ball and one strike to Turner. And Turner, the base hit, went to second on the throw in the first inning. And the pitch to him. Foul over to the right. We were talking about the swing of Trey Turner earlier this afternoon, Omar, and the fact that he's got an area where it just flattens out, and that really works to his benefit.
Yeah, his bat stays in it gets in the hitter zone early, stays through the zone for an extended period of time, and then when he comes out and he's got his finish, and that bat, I guess I'm going to say flat or stays in there long, allows him to not make adjustments, but if your timing is off, it gives you greater margin for error when that timing is off.
To center field, backing up Grisham. And Seager stays put.
When you have hitters that maybe have more of a loop in their swing rather than that flat through the zone for extended period of time, their timing has to be perfect. Because their bat's in the hitting zone for a short period of time, it's in there and it's out. But guys like Trey Turner, guys like Albert Pujols, back in the day, I remember guys like Michael Young, Lance Berkman, these guys, they had their bat, it seemed like it was in the hitting zone forever, for so long. Got in there soon, stayed through, and then it was out. And also with their bat in the zone, the way they swung, they can keep that ball in the inner half and still stay inside that ball. They can pull it. They can do so many different things. So it's hard to also play defense up the middle to judge where they were going to hit the ball.
Strike one to Will. And Will gave the ball a ride in the first inning. Trent Grisham with his back up against the wall made the catch. Left center. Smith with 74 runs batted in. He has driven in a good portion of those after the All-Star break. Pops this one up. And it'll be playable for Eric Hosmer. Will has to run around him. He'll make the catch, and that's going to do it for the Dodgers in the second inning. But they get another run, 5-1, LA after 2.
It's Friday on an all-new Backstage Dodgers. In what has become an annual tradition on the team's final road trip of the season, the entire Dodgers traveling party dresses up in costumes for the flight from Colorado to Arizona. And the 1981 Dodgers attend a reunion at Dodger Stadium to celebrate the 40th anniversary of winning the World Series. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers Friday, presented by Cadillac.
Adam Frazier leads off the inning, taking a strike from Max Scherzer. 0 for 1 tonight for Frazier. Well, Scherzer's got a bit of a cushion, 4 runs. First time he won the Cy Young Award was 2013, and since that year, when he gets 4 or more runs of support while he's in the game, his record is 102-2. And his teams are 111-13 in those games. I mean, you want to talk about one-sided.
Well, the Dodgers have 2 pitchers like that on their staff. Him and Kershaw has quite the record like that as well. That's what makes them great. That's what makes them Hall of Famers. That's why they have those Cy Young awards hanging on their wall.
Won his first Cy Young with the Tigers. And during those years, they had a great pitching staff too. Scherzer, they were led by Justin Verlander. David Price was in his prime. I mean, they really had a great staff and a good team then. 2-2. This one is lined over the head of Trey Turner and into right field. And a leadoff single for Frazier.
Right now, Max Scherzer really doesn't have that swing and miss stuff against these Padres. In the first game, last time they faced, there were 19 swings and misses when he faced the Padres. So far in this game, he's allowed 4 hits and only 1 swing and miss. They have more hits than swings and misses right now.
And the home run that was hit by Caratini was just the 4th home run he's given up as a Dodger. Gave up 18 with the Nationals. Cronenworth takes a strike. Right-handed hitters, left-handed hitters, doesn't really matter. Right-handers are hitting only 170 against him. Lefties only 180 against him. He's got the lowest batting average against in baseball. Overall, when you look at it, it's just 175 total. Scherzer ready to go, and the 1-1 to Cronenworth. He's fouled out of play to the left. So 5 games to go, including this one, 4 after tonight. This is game number 158 on the season. Dodgers just worried about one thing, winning the game in front of them. Everything else will fall into place. That one will be out of play also. But it just goes to show you, when you look at the season the Dodgers and the Giants are having in the National League Western Division race, that every game, whether it's in late March, early April, no matter when it is, every single game, every single pitch, every single inning counts. And if you miss by a game when it's all over, you might say, okay, well, where was it? You can look back at a lot of things, but every team can do that. That's down the line, foul, and that'll just hit the top of the netting.
Yeah, some teams will have to look back at more than just one game. But at the same time, you look at what the Dodgers have done. I mean, they're on the verge of having the best record ever after winning a World Series. And the best record the following year after winning a World Series, impressive. Already having 100 wins after winning the World Series is impressive.
Well, think about this too. If they win out, that'd be 106 wins, which would match 2019, which was the franchise's all-time best record. That's the kind of season they're having. Well, this one's lined to left and a run backwards for A.J. Pollock. He's able to make the play. Cronenworth is out, and back to first base goes Frazier.
And it's
Number 13, Manny
you think
Machado.
about beginning of the year, season's about to start. You always hear how many wins you think they're going to need or to win the division. You always like guess or like 98, 100, 102. There's a difference between how many are they going to win. That's one question. But how many do you think you need for them to win the division? We're thinking 98, 100. They should win it.
106.
Yeah, right.
107. Who knows? Well, Machado, 5 at bats in this series. 3 of them have lasted 1 pitch. Now 4, and this one is driven to deep right center. This one's back and gone. A 2-run homer for Machado. (5-3).
And that ball was right over the middle part of the plate. You know, Machado's an aggressive hitter on the first pitch, not going to waste any time, and he's not going to miss pitches like that.
Slider hung in there right over the heart of the plate. So it's a 5-3 ball game. Dodgers still ahead by 2, and Eric Hosmer takes a strike. Saw Fernando Tatis Jr. in the dugout. This is the 3rd time in the last 4 games he has not been in the lineup. 0-1 pitch. And that's through the hole in the right side, a base hit. So the Padres are making contact against Max Scherzer tonight.
Number 28, Tommy Pham.
Eric Hosmer 2 for 2, 4 hits in the series.
That's another breaking ball. The breaking ball is just. We were talking yesterday about Buehler. We were talking about what he needs to have. I go, you can have the velocity of the breaking ball, but there's a difference between velocity on the breaking ball and life to the breaking ball, or that late break. And Buehler had that yesterday. Right now, we're not seeing that out of Scherzer's breaking ball. So the velocity may be there for the breaking ball, but it doesn't have that late break. It's just kind of that one. You can see it kind of just popping that I talked about over the hand, and it's just kind of just breaking early, not late, so hitters are able to recognize and stay back on it.
Pitch to Tommy Pham, the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, over the last 2 games, you include that Colorado game, Nomar, Scherzer's given up 8 earned runs now in 7 1/3 innings. And in that period, that's an 8.82 ERA. So he needs to clamp it down right about here in terms of the runs. 1-1. Pham waves and misses at a changeup. One ball and 2 strikes. Scherzer had thrown 17 1/3 scoreless innings against the Padres until Caratini's 2-out solo homer in the second. Two and 2 to Pham. What can you learn from a pitcher when he blanks you the way that he did the last time against the Padres. Now you know you're facing him again in basically a short period of time. What do you learn the first time around that you can apply to the second game? Seems like that's what the Padres are doing.
Well, you can learn how what pitch he was predominantly using to get you to swing and miss, such as that slider. Was he throwing fastball up and in, for example, to get you off that slider? So you might be going, okay, was the fastball something like a show me pitch, such as that one coming up and in, or was it pounding me in, but really didn't care if it was a ball or a strike to get me to chase or to get me to take that slider away?
Hosmer takes off for second base, and this ball is lined foul.
But what I really think too is when I look at the pitches of Scherzer today, he's been missing his spots. He's been missing over the middle of the plate, and that's the balls they've been hitting. They've hit a couple of fastballs that were up in the zone. Caratini, Hosmer, you got to tip your hat for those hits. But some of the other ones, they've been over the middle part of the plate, and also we just saw that one over Machado. Not only did that miss, it also didn't have the same life to it as well.
8th pitch of the at bat from Scherzer to Tommy Pham. Hosmer runs. Strike 3 call. Throw down. And that is a strike him out, throw him out double play. Padres with a couple of runs. The home run by Machado. After 2.5, it's a 5-3 Dodger lead. John Painter on the headsets back to New York. It was very late in developing where Jace Tingler got them to take a look at this play at second base involving Eric Hosmer and Trey Turner. Turner with the tag on the strike him out, throw him out. Now the ball got there a half hour before Hosmer. But the ball is down on the ground. Did he tag him before his foot hit the bag or not? That's going to be the question. And is there clear and convincing evidence?
They called them out,
and so
you're going to say play stands.
Yep. Because it was out on the field, it would stand, and now we'll get back to play in the bottom of the 3rd inning. But you only allowed 30 seconds to make your determination as a manager whether you're going to challenge or not. But that took almost 2 minutes.
Yeah, you know, it was really interesting because we saw Dave Roberts, as we have another look right there. Dave Roberts kind of going out there, and I wonder if that's what he was talking to the umpires. Like, wait a minute, how come you allowed that? Like, it's been a long time, and you're still now checking it. And we saw Scherzer out there still kind of waiting, like he wasn't going to go in the dugout yet. Like he was, I'm not going into. I know it's now the 3rd out. We were kind of wondering, wait a minute, were they talking about Scherzer there? That got us nervous, but no, it's an out.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout. We'll be back with the bottom of the 3rd. From Whittier, and his favorite player is Max Muncy. To join Junior Dodgers for a chance to be the Junior Dodger of the game, visit Dodgers.com/Junior Dodgers. Well, good news for Vincent. His favorite player is coming to the plate to start the bottom of the 3rd. 5-3 Dodgers. Ryan Weathers will face Muncy, Pollock, and Taylor. Muncy with an RBI base hit and a run scored tonight. He got to ride home for free on A.J. Pollock's home run. So a long inning break. As it took a while. In fact, the umpires were talking to Dave Roberts before they went and looked at that play at second base. And that's all water under the bridge now as the call remained out. Change up outside from Weathers. 1 ball and no strikes to Max. Two and 0. Weathers 3 straight balls to Max Muncy.
Depends on how Max Muncy feels, but green light here. If he likes it, let it go.
He takes the strike.
A lot of times you leave it up to the hitter like Max Muncy. Like, listen, you got the green light. Doesn't mean you have to swing.
That's the 81st walk of the season for Max Muncy. You say, how many is that? Well, the next most walks belong to Justin Turner with 60. How about A.J. Pollock? He hammered this one in the first inning for home run number 18. Put it into the home run seats. 2-run shot. That made it 4-0 Dodgers. And for the Dodgers, 14 batters have come to the plate tonight. 8 of them have reached base. Muncy aboard, and the pitch to Pollock. 1 ball and no strikes. Pollock 1 for 3 last night, drove in the eventual winning run. Look at his left-right splits. They're just about even. 300 one side, 297 on the other. Doesn't matter lefties or righties. Two balls and no strikes. So 6 of the 7 pitches that Weathers has thrown this inning have been out of the strike zone. Bouncer down to third, backhanded by Machado, slings it over to second. They'll hold on there. They'll get the front side out, so 1 gone. Pollock aboard.
Every time I see a ball like that hit where there's a potential double play with A.J. Pollock, want to make sure he's smart getting out of the batter's box. Just your instinct is, I got to run hard, but let's not forget, still coming off a hamstring injury. He's really smart, but then you watch him as he goes through the base, and it seems okay.
Saw Taylor replace him last night. Saw him replace him a few times late in the game on the road trip right after he came off the IL, which is good for 2 reasons. It gets A.J. out of the ball game and gives Taylor a chance to get in and keep him fresh. And tonight he gets a chance to do that starting at third base.
And in Arizona, when Taylor came in, he had to make 2 amazing plays. Out there in left field,
right,
laid out, and one of them line drive. Kenley Jansen trying to close out the game, and then he corner down the line, left field line. He makes another great play in that same inning.
And AJ said after the game he wasn't sure he would have made those plays. We've seen some remarkable ones from CT3 in the outfield. How about in Milwaukee in 2017?
Huge play.
0-1. Missed inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, I guess no more the trick going into the postseason, regardless of where you end up, is, as we look at Dinelson Lamet warming up, is to have everybody healthy and to have everybody firing on all cylinders at the same time.
Yeah, health is first and foremost. And then some of the guys that are struggling, you're hoping that they're starting to get more confidence once they go down the stretch, get into the postseason. You know, and I think with the Dodgers here, I think they're getting to a point where like they just want to know, like, okay, what are we facing? How do we start preparing for that? Whether it's that one game, I think they're at the point, it doesn't matter. Let's continue to just play our game. Let's go in there. But that's all we can control. But whatever it is, I think they want to know ahead of time so they can just start preparing.
Taylor down on strikes. Two gone for the Dodgers now in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Number 9, Gavin Lux.
Well, Weathers now will face Lux. Weathers with 2 strikeouts. Gavin lined out to Manny Machado, who is out in short right field in the shift. That's right where he is now. Pitch is high and in. Now Bob Guerin was talking on Access Sportsnet Dodgers before the game about how Lux has adjusted very well. He says he really enjoys playing the outfield. He's embraced it. You got a guy who's a lifelong infielder and understands the profession, that hey, you know, you want to get in there and get some at bats, you're going to have to adjust. And he's done a good job. Throw to first.
It's obviously a challenge learning a new position at this level on the fly. That's one thing. It's also, when you're doing that, having it not affect you on the offensive side.
How do you separate that? I know you went through that with first base. How do you separate the two?
Well, I was fortunate because going to first base, I had spring training to adjust there. So, but it was when I remember when I went from shortstop to third at the end of the season, and same thing is just, hey, I'll play third. Guy gets hurt, so we'll move around whatever's needed going down the stretch trying to get to the postseason. But there was an adjustment there to make sure it didn't affect me, because you're thinking so much about the new position than you are thinking about hitting.
This one's popped straight up. Caratini drifting back toward the backstop. He'll have room. He makes the catch. Side retired and the inning is over. On to the fourth. Dodgers 5, Padres 3.
Welcome back to Dodger Stadium. I am joined now by the CEO of the Los Angeles Dodgers Foundation, Nicole Whiteman. And Nicole, you are carrying the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Sports Award. You guys just received it today. What does this award mean to you and your team?
You know what, this award was presented to us because of the barriers that we are helping break around health for communities in need here in the Los Angeles community. It really represents partnership, the partnership between our ownership group, the team, our players, and more, who join in with us to impact so many needy communities throughout the Los Angeles area.
And you're wearing the Los Angeles Dodgers Foundation shirt. I am as well. The players are wearing it during batting practice. How can fans not only support the LADF during the rest of this homestand, but even purchase one of these shirts?
Yes, so to get a shirt, we're encouraging fans to go to the LADF home base, which is in center field. And then throughout the remainder of the homestand, please purchase raffle tickets during all of our home games. On Saturday, we have a special raffle going to fuel STEM education in the Los Angeles community. And visit us at dodgers.com/auctions and bid on an auction item.
Well, from all of us, congratulations on all of the hard work you all have done in the community this year. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Kirsten. Appreciate it.
Guys.
All right, Kirsten, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nicole. And thanks to Nicole and her staff for all they do. They do an absolutely amazing job in the community.
They really do, Tim. I mean, it's pretty amazing what the Dodger Foundation does, how much they raise, all the work that goes into it. Nicole is just unbelievable and just works tirelessly.
Yeah, they work nonstop.
I mean, they really do.
Yeah, such a community asset. So Jurickson Profar with one down after Trent Grisham flied to center field. Profar switch hitter batting left against Scherzer. Infield playing Profar to pull, 3 to the right. And a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dodger pitchers came into the game with an MLB best 2.51 ERA and a major league best opponent batting average against of only 190. Those are 2 things that are necessary to have a really good year from the pitching staff, and they have.
Collectively, they've been unbelievable. The injuries they've had to deal with for both to the starting staff and to the bullpen.
Here's the 1-2. Little bouncer past Scherzer. There's Taylor bobbling, and he'll be charged with an error on a routine ground ball. Runner aboard here in the fourth for San Diego.
He just misses it. Just misses it on the exchange. Gets it in the glove. Just on the exchange. Just couldn't hold on to it.
It looked like, too, Nomar, there was a point where his internal clock said, I'm not going to get him anyway.
Yeah.
So Profar is on base. Here's Caratini at a solo home run in the second. 1 on and 1 out. Scherzer fires a strike. How about this one?
They want the ball up, and they get it there. Sometimes you're like, I'm sure that's one of those where he's going back to Will Smith and talking to him in the dugout, going, "We wanted it up, we got there. He just got to that ball."
Well, that's an example of using the whole field, right?
No. Every inch of it.
He wraps it around the left field pole, first row. So no score, top of the 6th inning in San Francisco, the Diamondbacks and the Giants. Keep you updated when there is a score. See if Arizona gets one first. Caratini high and away takes this one. You know, Caratini's had good success against Scherzer. He's 5 for 11 against him. Scherzer gets the sign from Smith. Profar leads at first. Now Scherzer will reset things. And the 1-1. Profar runs. A throw down by Smith will not be there. Well, Seager thought he tagged him. He immediately looked at the dugout and said, "Hey, you got to look at this." And Profar looks like he might have banged up his left arm or shoulder on the way in. But did he get tagged? And Bob Guerin says, look at it. Maybe he got tagged on the leg before he touched the base.
You see him peeking in. Will Smith does a good job with the exchange right away, and he may have gotten him.
Yeah, he's out. Got him right on the left heel, it looked like.
As the call on the field is
looking at
under review.
Profar too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Profar when he dives in there, looks like as he dives, that left shoulder kind of jams. I wonder if it may have popped out a little bit, maybe popped back in, but he is in some pain there. I don't think they're going to call him out. It's going to doubly hurt.
The Dodgers is challenging the call on the field.
And the call. He's out.
Overturned.
Caught stealing, 2-6. And Profar is out. There are 2 men gone in the San Diego fourth.
Good job by Will Smith, because that ball was in the dirt and he picks that ball and then still able to get off a throw to get him out. Well done, and a nice tag by Corey Seager to stay with him.
Scherzer will take advantage of the break to throw a pitch here just to keep loose.
And here's a ball in the dirt. He picks that nicely.
One, 2 now. There's a ground ball up the middle, and Caratini is now .500 against Scherzer, 6 for 12. It's a good thing it worked out with the stolen base, not working out for San Diego. 2 outs. Profar would have been running on contact. He might have come around.
You see once again that pitch. You see where Will Smith was lined up. He wanted that ball on the inner half. And prior to Caratini hitting the ball, you saw him reaching back over the outer half to try to catch that ball. Missing the spots once again.
Will Myers will pinch hit for the pitcher, Ryan Weathers. So Weathers out after 3 innings. Two down, Caratini at first. And this ball is hit into left. It's another hit for the Padres. That's their 8th hit of the game. Pinch hit for Myers. Now 2 on and 2 out.
Their 8th hit, and they are not swinging and missing, that's for sure.
Max put that one down the middle.
Yep. You know, you were asking me earlier, is it an adjustment from the Padres after their last outing against Max Scherzer? I really think it's just execution, the difference between this last outing versus the Padres and this outing.
Dodgers leading at 5-3, 2 outs, top of the 4th. Tying run is aboard for San Diego for Adam Frazier. Takes a strike. Interesting to note, too, that Scherzer has only 1 strikeout in the game. Normally, he'd have a few by now. Ball and a strike to Frazier. So 3,017 career strikeouts, 18th all time. It's the most among all active pitchers in Major League Baseball. And the 1-1 on the way. This one hitting the gap in right center and deep. This is trouble. That's going to go to the wall and bounce over the wall and save a run. Caratini will score. Myers will have to go back to third. It's 5-4. As Scherzer was saved there by a ground rule double. Frazier now 2 for 3.
Shortstop Jake Cronenworth.
And right now, all of the pitches have really just been over the middle of the plate. Another good swing, capitalizing on mistakes.
Dodgers have some guys moving around in the bullpen, just getting stretched out just in case. A 5-4 ball game now. Runners at second and third. Tying runs at third. Go ahead runs at second. And Cronenworth takes a strike. The 9 hits allowed by Scherzer, a season high. And Max ready to deliver the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last 2 starts, 9 combined earned runs. Scherzer had allowed 8 hits in a game for Washington at Toronto on April 27th. That was his season high until tonight, and the Padres keep on swinging.
There's another one. There's another one over the heart of the plate. Right now, he's just unable to find the command right now.
One and 2, 2 outs, 2 on, and 2 strikes on Cronenworth. Scherzer shaking off Will Smith. Cronenworth asks for time. Scherzer ready. And the right-handers 1-2 to Jake Cronenworth. In the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Look at the pitch count too. That's up 72 pitches, a lot more than he'd want at this point in the game. Five runs on 5 hits for the Dodgers, 4 runs on 9 hits for San Diego. Stretch by Scherzer. And the 2-2. Cronenworth hits a ground ball toward the middle. It's booted by Seager. And the game is tied. So the Dodgers defense letting down Scherzer this inning. It's a second error. And Mark Pryor is going to come out and settle things down. At least try to here.
Yeah, the routine ground ball. Seager just misses it. Same thing what happened to Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor gets it in the glove but couldn't get the exchange. And Corey Seager, he just didn't get the glove down far enough and just missed it.
Scherzer goes back to work.
Third baseman Manny Machado.
2 runs in, and Manny Machado had a 2-run home run back in the 3rd inning. Well, Machado got the better of Scherzer here. Took it the other way to deep right center. For Machado's 28th home run. He's got 103 runs batted in on the season. He's just 4 shy of his career high of 107. So brand new ball game. Dodgers were up 5-1 at one point, and now it's 5-5. Ball 1 to Machado. Even though Scherzer has gotten the better of Machado through most of their meetings, Machado won the last round. He is 2 for 2 tonight. Singled back in the first, too. Two balls, no strikes. Go to first base, and back is Cronenworth. Profar reached on the error by Taylor earlier this inning with 1 out. Then he was erased by Will Smith's throw down to second base. Throw was off the mark, but it was a really good tag by Seager. And the 2-0. This one's popped up to right, shallow, coming in Mookie Betts. And he'll retire the side, but the Padres get 2 more. A couple of errors hurting Max Scherzer's cause tonight. 5-5. Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Introducing the new Hot Honey hand-breaded chicken lineup. Try it today. And by Mito Lotto. Download the new Mito Lotto app to order tickets for this week's huge lottery jackpots. Scan the QR code for a free ticket. Will Myers stays in the game. He'll play right field. Profar is out. And the new pitcher for the Padres is right-hander Dinelson Lamet, former starter. 21st appearance facing Max Scherzer. He deals him a ball. So Weathers ends up going 3. He gives up 5 runs on 5 hits. All of the runs earned. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. A strike to Scherzer. Weathers threw 62 pitches, 37 for strikes. And Dinelson Lamet delivers, and Max fouls one off to the right. Lamet, 29 years old, out of Santiago in the Dominican Republic. Scherzer hits a high fly ball to right field. Will Myers getting under it. 1 down.
Well, fans, be at Dodger Stadium on Friday when the Dodgers face the Brewers, and stay after the game for the last Friday night fireworks of the regular season presented by Q-Cells. Plus, now you can experience another great view of the pyro display from the newly designed center field plaza. For tickets, go to Dodgers.com/promotions.
Back to the top of the order, and Mookie Betts. Betts is 0 for 1. He walked and scored in the second inning. 5-5, bottom of the fourth. Lamet's pitch in for a strike. Lamet signed as a teenager out of the Dominican in 2014. He's worked his way up. Finally getting to the big leagues. Started in the Dominican Summer League with the Padres club there. Finally debuting in the big leagues just 3 years later, 2017. Ball at 2 strikes to Mookie. This is the 13th relief appearance for Lamet this season. Again, a starter normally. That's in the dirt, skips away 2-2. So he last worked out of the Padre pen on Saturday night against Atlanta. Inning in 2/3 scoreless. Two ball, 2 strike pitch to Mookie Betts. That's high, 3-2.
Dodgers turning the lineup over. You got your leadoff hitter on base. Yes, you got one out in this inning. They've been managing to still put some pressure on, finding ways to score some runs. Now, after the game's been tied, have to keep that pressure on this.
Payoff, cut on and missed, strike 3. Slider got him. So Betts is out. And there are 2 gone for the Dodgers in the 4th.
Good 3-2 pitch. And you're thinking he doesn't want to walk you. He comes with an off speed on the outer half. Started off, looked like it was going to be a strike, and then it just falls out of the zone.
Seager's 2 for 2, pair of doubles. Scored a run, drove one in. Padres will play him to pull to the right. And he goes the other way to left field, but it will hang up for Tommy Pham. He'll make the catch, and the Dodgers gone in order in the bottom of the 4th. On to the 5th in a tie game. Champion Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. If you're looking for a used car, go with the best and check out a Toyota certified used vehicle. Along with Nomar Garciaparra and Kirsten Watson, I'm Tim Neverett. Hope you're enjoying Dodger baseball tonight. I know for the tie game, you'd like it to swing the other way and soon, but right now Max Scherzer trying to hang a 0 in the 5th against San Diego. They'll face Eric Hosmer, who's 2 for 2, and Hosmer takes a strike. Hosmer at 273. And the pitch from Scherzer. Slam foul out of play. Now Hosmer has picked things up since July. Since the beginning of that month, his on base percentage is .370 and he's hitting .293. So far in this series, he's given the Dodgers some trouble. 0-2.
It was a better pitch by Max Scherzer there. Eric Hosmer just does a good job fighting it off. We've seen Max really missing over the middle part of the plate and not able to put these hitters away either. There's another one over the middle part of the plate. He's had 2 of those. The first pitch to Hosmer was over the middle part of the plate, and he did not want it there. Was looking for more of the corner. And then here's one looking for the corner, down and away. And right over the heart of it, gets away with it. He hasn't gotten away with too many of those. San Diego's been able to take advantage.
0-2 pitch to Hosmer. Got him swinging. And that's just the second strikeout. Got him with a cutter. 2 strikeouts for Scherzer.
And better location with this pitch. I mean, that one is on the corner. In right underneath the hands. Good spot. Been trying to hit that location. Hasn't been able to do that today.
You know, the end of the season, sometimes there is a little fatigue. I don't know if that's the case with Scherzer or not, as he drills a strike in there to Tommy Pham. But you know, we've seen it. We saw a little bit of that with Walker Buehler. He came back last night and put that to bed. Another one. Good pitch with a slider. Taken by Pham, and it's 0-2. Pham tonight grounded out to short and struck out. First half of that strike him out, throw him out double play in the third. 0-2 is hit to right center field. Long run for Lux. Mookie Betts a long run also, and he gets in front of Lux and makes the catch. Boy, both players took off like the sprinter at a starting gun. You see Lux taking off, and Betts takes a really good route to the baseball.
Good job by Gavin Lux peeling off there once he recognizes that Mookie has a beat on it. Great job by Mookie Betts getting to the ball. Gavin Lux avoiding that. Picking up Max Scherzer. Another line out. San Diego's had quite a few lineouts today. Had quite a few hits, quite a few lineouts.
Here's Trent Grisham, center fielder, 0 for 2. Takes ball 1 inside. Grisham hails from Texas. He's about a 30-minute drive from where Clayton Kershaw is from in Texas. And Grisham from Burleson. Grisham hit a home run Thursday against the Giants. That was the first one he had since the 1st of September against Arizona. So those have been few and far between for him. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Grisham.
That was a better pitch right there by Max Scherzer. Once again, that was the same one he got in on Hosmer in that last at bat. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, he did get it on Hosmer his last at bat, getting in there. I'm sorry. But he's still looking for that pitch to try to put these hitters away.
Here is the 2-2. Got him swinging. So that's more of the Max Scherzer that we've come to appreciate. 3 up, 3 down, and 2 punch outs. The box score is brought to you by Kona Brewing Company. Trey Turner, 15-game hitting streak. Turner with a base hit, his first time up tonight. During the streak, a 400 average, 4 home runs, 4 doubles, and 9 runs batted in. Oh yeah, another stolen base. 32 of those on the season. Got that one last night. And Turner will lead off for the Dodgers in the 5th inning in a 5-5 ball game. Game 2 of the 3-game set with San Diego. Dodgers will win the season series against the Padres, regardless of what happens over the next 2. But that's not really what they're concerned with right now. They want to win the next 2. See what happens. Giants are threatening the Diamondbacks in the bottom of the 7th. Still scoreless there. The 0-1 pitch to Trey Turner from Dinelson Lamet. Even a miss, and it's 0-2. Now Seager had a double in the 2nd inning, his 2nd double of the game, no more. And since then, the Dodgers are 0 for 8. They've had 1 man reach. That was Muncy on a leadoff walk in the 3rd.
Yeah, the Dodgers really trying to get something going offensively. And right now they're a little bit stunned. They had the lead against San Diego. They had some miscues defensively right now. Right now he's trying to get that momentum back on their side. They had it. They were scored early, especially in that first inning. The second inning, they come back, scored another run. It was going well. And right now it's been more San Diego than Dodgers. They're just trying to find it.
Trey Turner strikes out, and there's one away. Will Smith coming up.
Fans, MLB celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month by recognizing the contributions made to our game by the Latino baseball community, past and present. Follow at Las Mayores and at MLB, and visit lasmayores.com for full coverage.
One out, pitch to Will Smith. Strike. One thing we were discussing earlier today was different things about hitting and different ways to look at the same thing when it comes to hitting. This ball in the air to left center, and over to get it is Tommy Pham. 2 down. But it's amazing the vocabulary that is involved with hitters and hitting, and how so many things mean the same thing, but they're expressed differently to different hitters.
And it's a matter of figuring out what translates. As a hitting coach, you're trying to figure out what translates to the hitter. So you might be able to see the same thing in 3 different hitters, but you have to say 3 different. You say the same thing in 3 different hitters, but you don't tell them all the same thing. You have to say 3 different things to accomplish the one adjustment you want them to make. And there's terms like you hear, oh, when they're going well, I'm trusting my hands, I'm letting it get deep, I'm waiting, I'm seeing it once he releases it, and recognizing the pitches later, allowing that. All those mean that you're allowing the ball to travel, trust your hands. They're all the same thing.
0-1 pitch to Max Muncy. 0-2. But some hitters will accept one term over another. They might not understand one, even though it means the same thing, but it's just, I guess you say it's just a matter of finding which one works for which hitter.
You know, I'm staying on the ball longer, or I'm not flying out. You're not flying out. That means your front shoulder may not be flying out. You're staying on the ball longer. So which one do you pick?
Hosmer tossing to Lamet, and for the second straight inning, the Dodgers done in order. Let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam as we take you to one of the upper reaches of Dodgers Stadium on the third base side. The upper deck. You can see everything. Update from San Francisco. Chris Bryant with a sacrifice fly scoring Steven Duggar. And it's 1-0 Giants. They're in the bottom of the 7th inning actually now. So the Giants take a lead of 1-0. Diamondbacks have had trouble with Giants pitching all night. Dinelson Lamet, who has pitched 2 clean innings, 0 for 5 this year with the bat in his hands. Scherzer's 0-1. Now it's 0-2. Justin Brule now, lefty, getting ready in the Dodger pen. 1-2 to Lamet. Those Giants, it's just amazing. Dodgers are playing historically good baseball. The Giants are too. And strike 3. 4th strikeout of the night as Lamet is gone. There's one away for the Padres in the 6th.
It's really just fascinating when you look at what the Dodgers have done since July. They have the best record in baseball. And yet only over the course of that time till now, they've only made up 1 game against the Giants because they were right there behind them.
When you look at these 2 teams playing here tonight, since August 11th, the Padres have the worst record in Major League Baseball at 11-30. The Dodgers have the best at 33-11. But tonight they're even Steven halfway through the game. They find a way to get Caratini out. Scherzer at 94 pitches. This will more than likely be it for him. As Caratini lines one to right field. They just can't get him out. Hitting over 500 in his career against Scherzer. And it's a season high 10 hits allowed for Scherzer.
One, I think Caratini is able to recognize pitches out of Max Scherzer. There's some guys that you just see well, recognize the pitch. And the other thing, just from a tonight's standpoint, Max Scherzer just doesn't have the command of his pitches.
1 on and 1 out for Will Myers, the right fielder. Strike 1 to Myers. Saw one pitch when he came up as a pinch hitter in the 4th and knocked it into the left field for a base hit. Oh, 1 on the way. Late and a swinging strike. Just couldn't catch up with the slider. No balls, 2 strikes to Will Myers. Scherzer ready, now the 0-2. And this one drilled in the air to deep left center field. Lux going back after it, and it's out of his glove. He crashes into the wall. Caratini's going to round third. Here comes the relay. It'll be cut off, and the Padres take the lead. And Lux is still down. Well, he went full speed into the wall. And he is in some discomfort. Holding on to his right shoulder. Near his neck.
Right shoulder. Looked like he was also kind of his right eye. So it looks like his whole right side, from the shoulder to the neck to his face. Takes an good angle on this, has a beat on it, has it in his glove. I know, thinking, oh, it's padded out there, but it's not a soft padding.
Barely had time to brace himself.
And that just it wasn't able to get that ball into the web of his glove. It's more in the palm. That's why he wasn't able to bring that one in. It bounces off his palm and then out.
Well, Gavin Lux looks like he's coming out. Again, holding on to that right shoulder area near the neck. More than likely we'll see Cody Bellinger here.
Yeah, you know, when you're learning outfield, you're going out there and you're practicing running to the wall. You know how many steps it is when you're on the warning track. So you get to the wall. It's another thing to also practice when you're going full board the way he was, and say how many steps is it, and try to gauge that before you knock into the wall. That comes with experience. And he was focused on making the play. He made a great effort to get to that ball. Fortunate he couldn't hold on to it because it was in his glove. And he paid the price for crashing in that wall.
So Lux's night comes to an end. Well, they have another option here. They could put Chris Taylor in the outfield. Justin Turner could come in at third base, or they could go with Cody Bellinger, and it looks like they're going to go with Bellinger. So Bellinger is going to take the field. And the fans recognizing that. Cody activated from the IL yesterday. And Dave Roberts coming to get Max Scherzer. So changes for the Dodgers as the Padres have now taken the lead 6-5 in the top of the 6th.
Had the command. Everything ended up being over the heart of the plate. Breaking ball, whether it was a fastball over the middle of the plate. He's looking to try to get in the corners. That one he even missed the spot. It was on the opposite side of the plate. Another breaking ball here. San Diego Padres hitters are just ready. They stayed on it. They took advantage of the lack of command from Max Scherzer. Now it's up to the offense to come and pick them up.
So 5 1/3 tonight. A season high 11 hits allowed, 6 runs, 5 earned. Who's in? Who's out? We saw Scherzer's out. Who's in? It is left-hander Justin Brule, who will make his 19th appearance. He's 0-1, earned run average of 324. Opponents hitting 224 against him. So 1 out after the triple by Will Myers. And the infield will be in for the Dodgers with the leadoff man Adam Frazier up. And a ground ball to first. Coming home is Muncy. Smith grabs it. They've got Myers hung up. And Taylor will tag him out. Nobody at second, so Frazier will take second base. But they do get the man at third for the second out of the inning. 3-2-5 on the putout. Fielder's choice for Frazier.
Max Muncy, good job getting to it, but even a better job by Will Smith to pick that ball and pick up his first baseman. Max hits that ball to his right, but throws that ball in the dirt. And excellent job throwing the hands right there by Will Smith, and then getting them in the rundown. We're trying to do that quicker to try to see if they could hold the runner at first. Good job by Frazier getting back into scoring position.
2 outs, runner at second for Jake Cronenworth. Brule trying to get the Dodgers back to the bat rack, get those bats going again. Sliced foul out of play. Bats haven't really done much since the first inning. 4 hits in the first, including an A.J. Pollock home run. There was a double in the second inning by Seager, his second double of the game. The Dodgers have not had a hit since. They are being out hit in the ball game 11-5. I think you said your keys to the game 10-5. They got the 5 part right, but they're not going to need more as this ball is sliced to left, and right there Pollock. So Brule gets a couple of quick outs, and the Dodgers halfway through the 6th trail by a run.
The 6th inning for the Dodgers.
Welcome back to Dodger Stadium. It is the final homestand of the regular season. And if you have not yet received your COVID-19 vaccination, if you're here at Dodger Stadium at one of these next few games, come up to Left Field Reserve. It's free, it's easy, and they can help schedule your appointment for your second vaccine. So make sure you come up here at Dodger Stadium, Left Field Reserve, guys.
All right. Thank you, Kirsten. Dodgers back to work with the bats. A.J. Pollock. Down 6-5. First ball swinging. Little English up the first baseline, and Hosmer will toss to Lamet covering, 1 out.
Fans, October baseball is just around the corner, and you won't want to miss your chance to be at Dodger Stadium as the defending champs look to repeat history. 2021 postseason tickets are now on sale at Dodgers.com/postseason.
Third baseman, Chris Taylor.
So a quick out, and Taylor, who is 0 for 1 with a walk, coming up. Dodgers went up 4-0 in the first, then 4-1, then 5-1. Padres with 2 in the third, 2 more in the fourth, and a go-ahead run in the 6th. 0-1 to Taylor. Slider in from Lamet. So Lamet's come in the ball game, though. Mari's retired the first 7 men he's faced.
He's done a good job keeping some of these hitters off balance, mixing up fastball, breaking ball. Dodgers haven't even the balls they put in play, they really haven't been able to square the ball up.
Left-hander Tim Hill warming up for San Diego. He gets a lot of use. He pitches a lot for the Padres. And on the other side, on the left field bullpen, Brusdar Gratterall going. Taylor wraps it down to third. Machado tackles it and gets it to first, not in time. A base hit.
They're going to have a look at that. What a great effort by Machado. Pretty amazing how much he's still able to get behind the ball when he throws it. Here he is sitting down on his bottom and still has enough to get it over there. That is really, really close.
Jace Tingler is coming out, but that is, yeah, very close. Ball has to be in the interior of the glove.
I'm not going to challenge that one. Base hit, but it was a great effort.
Well, Cody Bellinger coming up. He's going to take Lamet out of the ball game. So pitching change, timeout. Tim Hill will come in to face Cody Bellinger. When we come back, Padres up 6-5. LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com. Along with Omar Garciaparra, I'm Tim Neverett. Kirsten Watson, Dodgers Stadium, 45,366 tonight. Tim Hill, left-hander, comes on for his 76th appearance of the season. He's 5-6, and he will face Cody Bellinger. Albert Pujols is standing next to Bellinger in the on-deck circle right now. Pujols activated today off the COVID IL list. He didn't have COVID, but he had the shot, and his second shot, and he had a reaction to it. So they put him on that list yesterday, and because it's different than the IL, he was able to come off today when he felt better. So Dinelson Lamet made his longest appearance this month, 2 1/3 innings, and only gave up an infield single that was a bang-bang play at first. And that's where Chris Taylor is. He represents the tying run with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bellinger's first plate appearance tonight. He takes a strike.
Yeah, Lamet was looking really good. You mentioned the infield single, and it was also the hardest hit the Dodgers have had against Lamet. He was doing a good job keeping him off balance.
0-1 to Bellinger. Up high, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And I know we've made note of it, that Cody Bellinger's different stance than what he had earlier in the year. Widening up, hands in a different place.
One pop back and out of play. Well, we would see him before. His feet were together almost, and he would stand straight up. And sometimes when he'd finish a swing, he'd be on a knee, so his head would move from one position pretty far down.
He's in a much more athletic position. The hands in a better position to be shorter to the ball.
And Bellinger strikes out. Well, 2 men gone here in the 6th.
Good pitch by Hill, good spot. I know Bellinger didn't have the results he would like, obviously striking out there, but he still looked in a better position to hit the ball. Hopefully he's trusting the process and keeps working at it.
Pujols, 237 overall. Hitting 298 against lefties. He takes inside for a ball. Albert came out, took early BP today. Dodger pitchers got to hit today, and the extra players got to hit today. The Dodger starters didn't hit on the field this afternoon. Taylor leading at first base, 2 outs in the 1-0. And Albert hits a high fly ball to right. Playable for Myers. And the Dodgers come up empty in the 6th inning. Time now for the Nissan calendar. Just one more tomorrow night with San Diego. And Friday, the Milwaukee Brewers, champs of the NL Central, come in. 7 o'clock Friday, 6 o'clock Saturday, and noon on Sunday, the final game of the regular season. Brusdar Graterol's 32nd appearance takes over for Justin Brule. Brule went 2/3 of an inning, all zeros. 3-0 for Graterol. 27 strikeouts over 32 1/3 innings worked. And he'll start with Manny Machado. Machado 2 for 3 tonight.
And his last outing was on Saturday versus the D-backs, where he went 1 2/3. Didn't allow a run.
Machado takes inside. You notice the last game of the season is a noon game.
Yes.
The last several years, Major League Baseball has everybody play at the same time on the last day of the regular season. So the East Coast games start at 3 and the West Coast games begin at noon. And that is so the games will be played with integrity all the way through. And the reason they changed that was a few years back, there was a race in the National League in the Central Division. Cardinals and the Pirates were battling for the top spot in the division, and the pitch, and that's to the backstop. It's a ball. 2-1 to Machado. The Pirates are in Cincinnati facing Johnny Cueto. Garrett Cole was pitching for Pittsburgh at the time, and Cueto was going for his 20th win. In the meantime, the Cardinals were in Arizona with Adam Wainwright warming up. Machado fouls it off, and for the Cardinals, they just needed the Reds to win the division. So Mike Matheny, who was the manager of the Cardinals then, he's with the Royals now, he sent Wainwright to go out and throw a little soft in the bullpen. Just wait, we'll let you know. And lo and behold, Johnny Cueto finished off the Pirates. Cardinals win the division, and they pull Wainwright just before the game and put in a pitcher who didn't have a start in the big leagues before and hasn't since. So they didn't need the win. They ended up winning the game 1-0 anyway. But Major League Baseball doesn't want that to be the case. They want, if you're going to have your starter go out to the bullpen and start to warm up, you want him to pitch in the game. You want it to mean something. So everybody has to play at the same time now.
And I think that's right. I think that's smart. The only challenge is that 3 o'clock game on the East Coast, and certain times where you're dealing with shadows at certain fields.
Machado draws the walk from Graterol. Leadoff man is aboard in the 7th.
First baseman number 30, Eric Hosmer.
Machado takes the slow walk down to first. And here's Eric Hosmer, 2 for 3 tonight. That's low ball 1. Tried the cutter and missed. Yeah, you didn't talk about the games they're 2 hours later than normal on the East Coast, but only 1 hour earlier than normal on the West Coast.
Right. And when you're on the West Coast and 1 hour earlier, doesn't really affect the shadows and fields. You're like, all right. A lot of times they design fields for the shadows, taking into consideration for 7 o'clock and 1 o'clock games, and for that 3 o'clock game.
We'll see about the game times for the postseason too, because sometimes you have to deal with shadows.
Yeah, no, you do. Because of the TV schedule.
That's right. And that's the funny thing about the postseason. I wouldn't call it funny, haha, just funny, different. is that during the regular season, everything is so routine. 3-game series. You're playing every day. You travel, maybe a 4-game series, but it's every day. The occasional off day. And that's ball 4 to Hosmer. So Gratterall can't find the plate now. And he's put 2 on. And a situation where the Dodgers just can't afford to give up any more runs.
Left fielder number 28, Tommy Pham.
But when you go to the postseason, everything now becomes kind of splintered. Your schedule is just so different because of the television schedule. For example, if you win the division, you win it on a Sunday, you're not going to play till Friday.
Yeah, that's another tough thing to deal with after playing 162 games, and your body, the rhythm that it's on, the adrenaline that we talk about that you need to finish off September, and then having to sit. And I talked about how I didn't like really days off. We have scheduled days off, but days off in September, just trying to do something, because having that complete day off, your body shuts down. So now you're in the postseason dealing with that. Not easy.
2 on, nobody out, and Tommy Pham takes ball 1. 100-mile-an-hour sinker. Gratterall getting himself into a jam in the 7th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gratterall checks the runner at second, and the pitch. Another strike. That one on the outer half at 101.
Yeah, the pitch before, he took something off of it just so he could throw a strike at 100.
Took a little off.
A little bit. He comes back and he paints the corner there at 101.
I'll take that one. Here's the pitch on the way, and that's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tommy Pham. Pham 0 for 3 tonight. Well, this could be a big swing night in the standings unless things change here in Los Angeles soon. As the Giants are 2 outs away from wrapping up the Diamondbacks. And if the Padres would somehow pull this one out, that'd make it 3 games back with 4 to play. And that is not the scenario the Dodgers are looking for. And this pitch is hit down the first base side. That's fair. It's off the glove of Muncy. And Machado's going to round third and score. Hosmer into third, and into second is Pham. It's 7-5 San Diego. So the leadoff walk comes back to haunt Gratterall. And now it is a 2-run lead for San Diego.
Center fielder number 2, Trent Grisham.
Another ball just over the middle part of the plate. We know Gratterall was having trouble with the command coming into this inning. And that ball just squeezes by Max Muncy. And they're going to go out there and check Pham. He got him to second base. Yeah, he was kind of rubbing. Maybe it looked like his groin area or that right hip.
And Tommy Pham made some offseason news when he was stabbed in a nightclub incident in San Diego over the winter. Made a full recovery. He will stay in the ball game. Well, it is over in San Francisco. And it's not good news for the Dodgers. 1-0 final. Giants win it. And the difference now 2.5 games. So if the Dodgers can't pull this one out, they'll drop to 3 back. And the Padres, with runners at second and third and nobody out. Trent Grisham takes a strike. So the Giants will be heading into their clubhouse, and the TVs will be on this game. Here's the 0-1. This one is lined into right field, and this is going to get at least one in. And coming around is Pham, and he'll score. 2-run single, and the beat is on for San Diego. 9-5 now. And Bruce Dog Gratterall not having his finest hour.
Two leadoff walks, then a double, especially when you get 0-2 on a hitter. Can't put him away. And then now, huge RBI hit down the line.
3 runs in this inning, and not an out to be had. And Dave Roberts is coming to get the bazooka. Phil Bickford will come in and replace him, as the Padres came from 5-1 down, and they have scored 8 unanswered runs. 9 runs on 13 hits for San Diego. And Bruce Dog Gratterall finished for the evening. Bickford takes over. In the top of the 7th, still nobody out. Net LA is brought to you by your SoCal Land Rover retailers. Well, the Padres taking advantage of Dodger pitching tonight, which is really unusual. Phil Bickford makes his 55th appearance, takes over for Bruce Dog Gratterall. He'll face a pinch hitter in the pitcher's spot. And Jake Marisnick will come up. Fernando Tatis Jr. had a bat in his hand. He was on deck, but he has been called back for now. And Bickford will face Marisnick, who was hit by a Joe Kelly pitch last night. 9-5 Padres. And the Dodgers still with 3 possible innings remaining to get those runs back. Grisham leads at first base. And Marisnick at the plate. Throw to first, Grisham back.
So the momentum of this game really changed early on with the Dodgers. You're 5-1. You have Max Scherzer on the hill. You're feeling pretty good. And Max Scherzer just didn't have it today. The Padres kept battling back, kept fighting.
Grisham heads down to second base. And safe is the call. Again, that throw from Smith tailing to the right. And Trey Turner trying to put the tag down on the foot on the way by. That's all he could try to do.
And it looked like second base umpire Brian Gorman, like he was looking to see if he got maybe his foot as well. He was looking for that type of tag. Did he get it on him? And then he recognized that he didn't, because if he had been able to get that foot, he would have been out. We were just talking about just the Padres. They just kept battling every inning, just finding a way to put some runs on the board, and now they find themselves a 4-run lead.
1 ball and 1 strike to Marisnick. 13th stolen base for Trent Grisham. Hey, you mentioned Brian Gorman. I know you had a chance to chat with him today before the game.
I did. He's telling me he's going to retire after 30 years.
Well, this will be his last series.
That's
actually.
Yeah. And he's talking about going out to see Jerry Davis as well. He's going to be doing his 5,000th game. Pretty amazing. Yeah. Brian Gorman been around a long time. He's one of the solid umpires. He was one. So it's a name many people probably don't know a lot about, but that's a good thing when you're an umpire.
Yeah. A good chance we'll see him in the postseason for sure. Being a 30-year guy and knowing that this will be his last year, he'll probably get. I would imagine he'd be assigned to the postseason, but this is his last regular season series. Two one. It's in the dirt. 3-1.
I don't know how Will Smith came up with that ball. That ball, where it bounced, how far in front of the plate, where he was looking for it, and just And it almost took his. It did take his glove off.
Just stuck in there. 3-1. There's a strike. Well, you know that Brian Gorman is a veteran umpire of many years, because when he talked to you, it was around the good food, and he knew where to find it at Dodger Stadium. Payoff pitch, and that's a ball.
It's always been one. It's always been one that you just a solid umpire, but also there's umpires that you just be able to talk to, especially in the middle of the game. And then there's some that you like almost like, don't talk to me, I'm the authority here, and I'm right. He's one you can talk about. Okay, discussion, and you always had a respect for him wherever he is on the field.
Well, we welcome those viewers joining us who are just watching the Giants defeat the Diamondbacks. Things have gone a little sideways for the Dodgers here in the 7th inning. Still nobody out. 2 on. 3 runs in already. 5 straight men for the Padres have reached base. And Victor Caratini is 3 for 3. He has scored 3 times. A home run in the 2nd inning and then 2 base hits. Nine 5 San Diego in the 7th. In this series, the Dodgers really haven't found many ways to get Caratini out. Walker Buehler struck him out in the 3rd inning last night, but then Caratini had a hit in the 6th. And in the 8th, Joe Kelly struck him out. And tonight happens to be the very first 3-hit game of the season for Caratini. Runners are thinking about it now. Bickford delivers, and it's fouled away.
Well, I knew he was one person that was sad to see Scherzer come out of the game, because he was on everything he was throwing today.
I mean, he had his number today. Scherzer, by the way, with the ERA after his outing today, 6 runs, 5 earned. His ERA goes from 2.28 up to 2.46. Corbin Burns of Milwaukee pitches on Saturday here. So the Dodger hitters can help out Scherzer. Of course, trying to get a win on Saturday, but they can find a way to knock Burns around the ballpark a little bit, get his ERA up. They'll give Max a chance. Maybe to take the ERA crown. See, strike 3 call. Caratini out. So 5 strikeouts for Dodger pitchers now. 5 more. Everybody gets a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. Valid only at LA area restaurants. Will Myers tripled off the left center field wall. Gavin Lux ran face first full speed into the wall trying to make the catch. Lux had to leave the game. Bellinger has replaced him in center. 2 on and 1 out. First ball swinging, bounces it foul. Get a look at this in the 6th inning. Lux had a pretty good jump on the baseball, took a good route here.
He did. He got good angle. Gets to the ball. Just hits it in his palm. And as far as awareness on the warning track, that comes with experience and understanding. And he was more focused on, I am making this catch. Just couldn't come up with it. But the effort was there. And man, he really crushed that wall.
Strike 2 to Myers. Good thing we weren't at Wrigley Field.
I don't want to think about that one.
That would have been ugly.
Yes.
The brick wall, the ivy's probably dying at this time of the year. Is thankful for the padding. 0-2. And strike three. It got away from Smith. He doesn't know where it is. First base was occupied. Nobody is covering the plate. Now Muncy alertly runs down there with Bickford. But first base occupied, so that's a strikeout, and that's 2 outs. Oh, that hit the mask of the home plate umpire, Trip Gibson.
Yep.
That's why it kicked so far away. That hit him clean.
Yeah. And man, he just took it. He was just standing there. I mean, they're checking on him as they should, just to make sure he's okay.
John Tompane calling for one of the Dodger trainers to come over.
Yeah.
Same with Brian Gorman. They're saying, hey, come over, take a look at him. So Possum will come out.
Yeah, that didn't get any piece of the glove or anything. Will Smith.
Well, Trip Gibson, real name Hal Harrison Gibson III. Lives up in Washington State. Started umpiring when he was 19 years of age as a college student. Joined the major league staff in 2015. In fact, his first major league game was a Dodger game as a minor league call-up in 2013. It was when the Dodgers were playing a game with the Diamondbacks in Arizona. So we'll see what they're going to do here with Trip Gibson. Well, looks like he's all right. But how often do you see that? Do you see a pitch go straight off the umpire's mask?
No, he's probably telling Will Smith, hey,
12, Adam Frazier.
just maybe get a glove on it next time. Help me out a little bit. I mean, that just went right off of him.
So 2 men out. Runners at second and third for San Diego. Back to the top of the order, and Adam Frazier. Grisham down there at third, Marisnick at second. Frazier's been on base 3 times, twice with a hit. He's gone single double, scored a run, and drove one in. Reached on a fielder's choice. Here's the pitch. Fouled off, strike one. Well, for the Dodgers, it'll be the top of the order. In the bottom of the 7th inning, Betts, Seager, and Trey Turner. Runners lead second and third. Bickford's got the sign, and the right-hander comes home 0-1. And that's a little bit high and a little outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Frazier. Well, you talked about, the momentum of the game. The Dodgers had it all early, and now the Padres have it. What's the mood change like in the dugout during a game like this?
You're just trying to find it, and a lot of it is, Dave Roberts touches in and talks about how the starting pitcher sets the tone of the game. And they really do, because there are times your offense, especially in the first inning, they score 4 runs and then you manage another one in the second. Then you find yourself on your heels a lot when you have those long innings when you're on defense. And that takes a lot out of you as you're coming in. You're kind of coming into the dugout slowly. And you're like, all right, then here we go. Let's try to get some more. So those long innings on defense is what really takes the wind out of your sail.
1-2 from Bickford to Frazier. So now, are you also thinking, if you're the Dodgers with the top of the order up, you got the 7th, 8th, and 9th if you need it, just trying to win an inning now?
You are. Yeah, and you're trying to find a way. Once again, you go from your starting pitcher setting the tone, and then you're talking about the top of your lineup setting the table. Right? And now you're going to really depend on them to kind of set the table and take that momentum onto your side on the offensive side.
In the air to left center field, drifting over there is Cody Bellinger. He'll make the catch. Stretch time, and the Dodgers have some work to do, down 9-5.
Special one, Fan Appreciation Day, presented by Bank of America. All throughout the day, we'll be showing our appreciation for the best fans in baseball by giving away fantastic prizes. To see the full list of prizes and to grab your tickets, visit Dodgers.com/fan appreciation.
Mookie Betts will lead off for San Diego. Jake Marisnick stays in the game. He goes to left field. So he is in the 7th spot in the batter's order, which was the pitcher's spot. Now the new pitcher's spot is 5th, and that's where Daniel Hudson enters. Tommy Pham out of the game. 53rd appearance for the veteran Hudson. And now you need a base runner. See what Betts can do here. Mookie is 0 for 2 tonight. He walked in the 2nd and scored. Popped up to Cronenworth, the shortstop, in the 1st inning. Last time up in the 4th, he struck out swinging.
The
2-0 to Betts.
The Dodgers in the first 2 innings, they had 5 at-bats with runners in scoring position. They were 2 for 5. They have not had an at-bat with a runner in scoring position since then.
And the 2-0 offer. Mookie swings and he hits a high drive to left. Marisnick back to the wall, and it's gone. A home run. Mookie Betts. Home run number 22. And it's 9-6. Well, a Mookie moment late in this game makes it a 3-run ball game.
You talk about momentum shifts and trying to get the energy back into that dugout. Well, a big hit and a big swing from your leadoff hitter, that can definitely help you out. Great swing by Mookie Betts, and he knew it right when he hit it.
Pitch to Corey Seager is up ball 1. So for Betts, his 4th home run against the Padres this year. That ball traveled 427 feet. That's the longest home run Mookie has hit this season. Seager fouls it back. Ball and a strike to Corey. Seager 2 for 3. But, well, Mookie can really ignite the engine sometimes. And maybe that's what the Dodgers needed to get going here in the 7th against Daniel Hudson. One and 2. Now they're giving Seager the entire left side of the infield. Cronenworth now at shortstop has taken a few steps over toward the normal shortstop position. He was almost at second base prior to strike 2. Still a lot of room, and Corey will go to the opposite field occasionally. 1-2. He chased one down and in and strikes out. A good slider from Hudson.
That was a big pitch by Hudson here. Started off in the zone, goes underneath the hands, kind of a back foot slider, especially after giving up a big home run to Mookie Betts. Getting Corey Seager to strike out. That's big.
Here's Trey Turner. Turner 1 for 3. Extended his hitting streak to 15 games. He swings, and this one's fouled down the right side. Strike 1. Turner 1 for 3. Look at some of his numbers. I mean, 25 home runs, 33 doubles, 32 stolen bases. Good slider from Hudson. Are some guys' sliders just more deceptive than others?
They are. Some guys' sliders come out of the same arm slot as their fastball. Some sliders have a later break.
Little chopper. Oh, barehanded by Hudson with his pitching hand. And he throws out Turner. That's usually one you let go.
Catcher number 16, Will Smith.
He reached that big paw up there and snagged it. Now 2 down. Usually ill-advised by a pitcher trying to field the ball up the middle with your bare hand.
It's ill-advised, but sometimes his instincts take over. Like, I'm trying to get an out. Ball's right there.
Slider missing away, 1-0. Speaking of broken hands, did you hear about Devin Williams, the setup man for the Milwaukee Brewers?
What happened to him?
Well, the Brewers were having their post-game celebration. A couple hours afterward, he punched a wall and he fractured his hand, pitching hand.
Celebrating.
Well, no, they had the celebration. No. They left the ballpark. Something caused him to punch a wall. And now he admitted today to reporters that he punched a wall. He said he had a few too many drinks. And now we understand it's going to require surgery.
Wow.
And he is such a big part of the Brewer bullpen. Two outs and a 1-2 count on Will Smith.
Still trying to wrap my head around that one going. What?
This one down to third. Machado's got it. And Smith is out, but Betts hits the home run. And we'll go to the 8th inning. It's a 9-6 ball game in favor of San Diego. Next game probables brought to you by your Southern California Chevy dealers. Vince Velasquez set to go 3-8, 6.22 earned run average. The Catman Tony Gonsolin will go. He's 4-1 with an even ERA of 3. That'll be tomorrow night right here at Dodger Stadium in the series and season finale. Dodgers and Padres. 9 runs, 13 hits for San Diego. 6 runs on only 6 hits for the Dodgers tonight. Mookie Betts' home run made it a little closer, and here comes veteran lefty David Price for his 38th appearance out of the pen.
You were asking me earlier about momentum shifts. How do you kind of get that back after it looked really good earlier in this game for the Dodgers and the Padres battling back, putting 9 spots up on the board. Mookie Betts gets that home run. The Dodgers get a run from the offensive side. Now it's up to whoever comes out of the bullpen. Try to get those quick outs to get that offense back in there.
A strike from Price to Cronenworth. If you can get a quick inning here, Max Muncy, A.J. Pollock, Chris Taylor due up in the bottom of the 8th. Cutter goes outside and off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. David Price spent some time in the rotation this year. Began the year in the bullpen. Right-hander Emilio Pagan now getting ready for San Diego. The ground ball to the right side. Good hop for Trey Turner. Underhand toss to Muncy, and there's an out.
Number 13, Manny Machado.
For Price, the journey began in spring training where he told Dodgers management, look, I'll go in whatever role you want me in. He knew there was some depth at the time. Dustin May was still pitching before he was injured. May as a starter. They knew there was a bit of a crowd in the starting rotation, but said, look, I'll go to the pen. I'll do whatever you want me to do. So he did the right thing by the team, and whatever they've asked him to do, that's what he's done. Pitch to Manny Machado inside. These two used to have their battles when they were both in the American League. Machado with Baltimore and Price with Boston and Toronto and Detroit, Tampa Bay before that. Pitch right by him for a strike. 1-1. Good changeup. When Machado was with Baltimore as a younger player, he played shortstop a ton. And he was going to do a lot of that in San Diego until Fernando Tatis came on the scene.
Yeah, he came up as a shortstop. And when he came over to the Dodgers, he was playing short as well. And Seager was injured.
Ready for the 1-2 and the pitch. Line shot right at Trey. 2 gone. A hot shot, but Turner positioned perfectly.
As a hitter, you're going, did everything right. He took it right back up the middle, and I got a guy blowing a bubble at me as he's catching the ball.
Almost knocked him over.
Really? Yeah. Yeah. So what? So what? Yeah, I knocked him over. He's still blowing a bubble at me. Well, catching it.
Eric Hosmer swings and fouls it up. That's when you know a player's got a slow heartbeat. When he's just so calm out there.
Bubble.
You got a rocket coming at you 100 miles an hour, and you just blow a bubble nice and easy. Make the play. Fun player to watch. Strike 2 to Hosmer.
I've seen that a few times with him. Some plays where he's blowing a bubble as he's making a play. Just chuckling at the timing of him just kind of blowing the bubble, or it's just like, it just happened to be. Like, hey, quit hitting the ball to me while I'm blowing the bubble.
Price is 0-2. Hosmer to expand, but he just got it off the end of the bat. Well, if you ask Trey about his slides, the way that he slides, and the way that he plays, he'll just tell him, hey, you're blowing it out of proportion. This is the way I've always done it. No big deal. He seems like extremely focused on the prize at the end.
Yeah, focus there, but make no mistake. Yeah, you've always done it. Doesn't mean we can't admire it because it's so smooth and pretty.
It's really good. 0-2 outside. You see guys pop up slide. Yeah, but you don't see them glide like they're on ice. Two outs, base is empty. 1-2 pitch from Price. Little bouncer right back to David. And he'll take care of Eric Hosmer just with the doctor ordered. A 1-2-3. Top of the 8th. Dodgers coming back to the plate when we come back. Well, make sure to stay with us after the game for Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by your Southern California Ford dealers. John Hartson, Terry Harrison Jr. out on the center field set. They're going to talk about the show Dodgers tonight, right, Jerry?
You bet. Like he's going to say, them playing the show pods, the show Dodgers versus the show pods. Yeah. Show.
But you were
always reminding us.
You were consistent during that whole promo. You didn't say anything, which is what you normally do when you're in studio.
Yeah, well, it's instinct.
It's called consistency.
Yeah.
Emilio Pagan takes over for the Padres. 66th appearance. The right-hander takes over for Daniel Hudson, who went an inning, gave up the home run to Mookie Betts. Now Max Muncy trying to get something going in the 8th. Ball outside. So Pagan in to face Muncy. .1-0 pitch inside 2-0. Pagan's been around a little bit. And Muncy fouls this one back and out of play.
Muncy a little frustrated with himself because he gets a fastball over the plate that he thinks he could handle. And he just fouls it off.
The 2-1 pitch from Pagan to Max. It's fouled back 2-2. And Pagan most recently in 2019 with Tampa Bay. Spent the 18 season with Oakland. He came up with the Mariners. And had the abbreviated 2020 season with the Padres. So second year with San Diego. Out of Greenville, South Carolina. Emilio Pagan. 2-2. Back swings, hits a high drive to right center field. Back goes Myers. He's at the wall. It is gone. Maxwell swinging the silver hammer in the 8th inning. And it's 9-7. It's a new career high in home runs for Max Muncy in a single season, his 36th.
Well, Max Muncy had 2 pitches before where he was frustrated, thinking, man, those were some pitches I could really drive. And then he gets a 3rd one, and he's like, I am not going to miss this one. And he drives it high and far and out of the stadium.
399 feet, the estimated distance. He's never hit as many home runs in a single season in the big leagues. And still 4 games to go after tonight. Justin Turner studying the scouting report of the bullpen in case he's called upon to pinch hit. And A.J. Pollock homered in the 1st inning. And he swings and pops this one back foul. Two-run ball game in the 8th inning. AJ flirting with 300 for a batting average right now. Well, nobody out. 2nd straight inning the Dodgers have had a leadoff home run. Pollock pounds it foul past 3rd. Let's see somebody get on before the next home run.
Right. It had the long ball, but they've all been solo shots, right?
Yeah.
You're going, man, if Max Muncy was going to do that, maybe one of those 3 hitters before him would have gotten on in the last inning.
Well, good to see that home run stroke from Max, though. Pagan ready to throw. It's the 1-2 count. Check swing down to first base. Umpire Jeremy Riggs says nope. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Good job by Pollock by holding it up there. Dodgers, okay, they've had a couple home runs, plugging away. A lot of baseball. A lot of baseball left. You know, just AJ's thought is as if he's just starting a new inning. Find a way to get on. Keep battling.
This one to right field and deep. And Apollo 11. We have liftoff. It's 9-8. Back-to-back home runs in the 8th inning for the Dodgers. 2nd one of the night for Pollock.
Timmy battled. He found a way to get on, and then some. His first at bat, he pulls the ball to left center and hits one out of the ballpark. This one, a ball on the outer half, stays on it, shows off the power, and goes the opposite field for a home run. Great swing by A.J. Pollock.
9 times in his career he's had a multi-hit game. It's his 3rd home run in his last 4 games. And his 3rd multi-home run game this season. So the Dodgers getting to Emilio Pagan, nobody out still. And a 1-run deficit. Chris Taylor 1 for 2. It was 9-5 a short time ago, and the Dodgers have scored their last 3 runs on solo homers. Mookie Betts in the 7th, Muncy and Pollock here in the 8th. And a strike to Taylor. Eight runs on 9 hits now for the Dodgers. Padres with 9 on 13. And Pagan's 2-1 now to Taylor. 3-1. Oh, pitch away from putting Taylor on. Bellinger waits on deck. The 3-1 to Taylor. It is taken for a strike, a cutter down on the zone, and it's a full count. Borderline pitch at best there. It missed.
And the K zone showing that it was off the plate.
And the payoff now. This one swung on, drilled to center field and deep. And going back on it is Grisham, and he'll make the catch. Well, Taylor gave it a ride, but the ballpark held it. And there's 1 out in the Dodgers' 8th.
Just gets underneath of this one. Breaking ball. Timing up just a little bit.
Well, 1 out for Bellinger. Bellinger 0 for 1. He struck out swinging in the 6th. That's coming in to replace Lux. Waves at the first one and misses. Got a cutter. No balls and a strike. Bellinger hammers one to right field. This one's back. This one's good! A belly bomb ties the game. Can you believe it? It is bedlam at Chavez Ravine as Cody Bellinger comes up large in the 8th.
Talk about his stance. We talk about being more athletic. We liked it. We trust the process. Gets a pitch that he can handle, and he drills it. Tim, I've seen a similar script before, so.
Yes, you have. Just need 1 more home run. Boy, Albert loved it. Why not? Cody has had a season of struggles. And tonight, coming in off the bench, hits his first home run since the 11th of August. His 10th of the year. And a huge home run for Bellinger. Emilio Pagan has been victimized for 3 long balls. He's had a visit from pitching coach Ben Fritz. And Justin Turner coming up. Pinch hitting in the 8th. Dodgers looking for another. Still one out. "25 home runs this year for Turner." And Pagan ready to deliver the pitch. Swung out, hit to left. This ball heading back to the wall. It is off the base of the wall. Turner around first, on his way to second with a pop-up slide. And the Dodgers have the go-ahead run in scoring position. A pinch hit double for Justin Turner.
JT doing a great job on the breaking ball. Staying back on it, putting a great swing. Almost too good. Didn't get it underneath enough. Hit it hard enough.
Well, Pagan being whacked around, and looks like the Padres are going to make a change here. Nabil Crismatt warming up. They had Mark Melancon warming, but he has sat down. And Crismatt was heating up quickly for the Padres, and Jace Tingler is going to come out and get Pagan. Now that the Dodgers have the go-ahead run in scoring position, one out, and Mookie Betts on his way to the plate again. And Tingler certainly did not want Pagan to face Betts again. Well, actually, Hudson faced him in the 7th, and he hit the home run, but he didn't want Pagan to face Betts the way that Muncy, Pollock, and Bellinger have been hitting him. So Muncy starts the inning off in the right way as he hits it out. Then A.J. Pollock to the opposite field, same spot. And Cody Bellinger tying the game at 9. The 8th inning, one out. Turner at second base. 9-9 is the score. And now Nabil Crismatt will come on, but Fernando Tatis Jr. comes on to play shortstop. He'll go in Hudson in the pitcher's spot. So he'll lead off in the 9th. Cronenworth moves from short to first. And now Crismatt makes his 44th appearance of the season. It's 3-1 and an ERA of 3.36. So Crismatt, who 2 scoreless Sunday against Atlanta, allowed a hit. And Mookie Betts trying to get Turner home. First pitch to Mookie is called strike.
You know, change up, be ready for that. Sit back on this one. Stay on the ball and drive it.
Betts awaits the next offering. And the 0-1. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, they've got a good part of the order up to start trying to get Turner over and in. And the 1-1 to Mookie. Off the plate outside with a curveball. 2-1. Blake Trinan and Kenley Jansen both loosening. Dodgers were down 9-5. 4 home runs later, it's tied up. And a 2-1 pitch from Crismatt to Mookie. And he'll take a strike here. Do the changeup again. Two balls and 2 strikes to Betts. Time call. It's not quite the 4+1 game yet, but it's close. He's watching his man from above the dugout. Mookie swings and he hits a fly ball to left. That'll be playable over by the line from Marisnick. And he'll make the catch for the second out. Betts flies out.
Just out in front, just a hair, gets it off the end of the bat.
Number 5, Corey Seager.
Corey Seager, a pair of doubles. Seemed like forever ago in the first and second inning. He scored a run, driven one in. 2 for 4 tonight. Seager awaits the pitch from Chris Matt. Here it is. Wave and a miss as he pulled the string with a change.
Oof. It was a good pitch. Center cut. Just took something off of it. Just his timing was off, but he recognized it.
No balls and a strike. Turner leads at second. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. What are you thinking here if you're Corey Seager?
Well, I'm thinking off speed. I'm thinking changeup, especially righty lefty. He's going to want that chain to break away. I'm thinking about I'm staying back on it as best I can. Trust it to let it travel and drive it. Just base hit. Just knock him in.
2-1.
Chris Matt's the type of pitcher that I'm looking off speed and I can adjust fastball rather than looking fastball and just off speed. He's going to predominantly come with something softer than he is hard.
And Turner's going to take third uncontested. How about that? Nobody defending over there. He just took off. So he's 90 feet closer.
Which is fine. And now the ball in the dirt factors.
Ball 3.
Put a little bit in their head if they're calling for, you know, his curveball if he wants to throw that. He's going to be going to the change because that's his go-to pitch, but it just puts in the back of his mind. Maybe not with that curveball.
This ball is driven to right field. Going back. It is gone! It's gone! It's gone! Seager's done it! The Dodgers lead it! In the inning, and number 5 with the 4th.
Tim, sometimes it just takes the number 5 to go out there and get the go-ahead. Great swing by Corey Seager. We talked about sitting back on the changeup, and he does.
Absolutely incredible. What an inning.
Said, what are you looking for? I'm looking for the changeup.
And that's what he got. And he changed the score. And there's the changeup. Turner out in his front foot. He strikes out, but how about the Dodgers? Cody Bellinger ties it, and Corey Seager puts him ahead by a pair. What a job by the Dodger bats. Well, the 7th inning, Mookie Betts ignited a fire off of Daniel Hudson. Dodgers down 9-5, now it's 9-6, 8th inning. Buckle up. Max Muncy. Career high 36 home runs. A.J. Pollock follows back to back. Cody Bellinger ties the game. And after Justin Turner doubled, Corey Seager comes through and gives the Dodgers an 11-9 lead. You see the playoff picture. The Giants won. It's 2.5. Dodgers get 3 more outs here. It'll be back to 2 right where it started today. I'm sitting with a guy who's done this before.
And there's 4 plus 1, but you can also go 1 plus 4. It doesn't matter. You get a choice. So.
There were still 4. 6 home runs in the game by the Dodgers, by the way, going back to Pollock's first one in the first inning. Now Fernando Tatis Jr. has his first plate appearance, and he's facing Kenley Jansen. He's 0 for 3 against Jansen. Swing and a miss. And Tatis, who has not started 3 of the last 4 games, is 0 for his last 11 with 7 strikeouts. His last 10 games, he's hitting just .205, 8 for 39 with 14 strikeouts. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3. 3 pitches. Thanks for coming. And there's 1 out.
You come in here, you're throwing strikes, you attack the hitter.
Number 2, Trent Grisham.
Exactly what Kenley Jansen did.
Two-run lead, top of the 9th inning. Trent Grisham, who had a 2-run single in the 7th. 1 for 4 in the game. And Kenley ready to fire. That's down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. We were talking about the mood of the dugout when the Dodgers went down 9-5 and the Padres put 3 up in the 7th. You're thinking, oh boy, this doesn't look good, but Mookie started it in the 7th. They continued it in the 8th and then some. 1-0, and that's a strike.
Mookie started it in the 7th, but also David Price. We talked about having a quick inning and keeping that momentum on their side, and getting that 1, 2, 3 inning was key too.
One pitch from Kenley. Foul tip for strike 2. Kenley Jansen's been getting the job done. And he is trying to finish off Grisham. And the 1-2. Got him!
Perfect pitch by Kenley Jansen. Cutter up and in on the lefty.
One more out to get. In a game where the Dodgers were down, almost out, they found a way with a new version of 4+1 in the 8th. A swing and a miss by Marisnick. Kenley's thrown 8 pitches, 7 strikes. David Price will be the pitcher of record on the plus side for the Dodgers. The 0-1. That's strike 2, and the Padres down to their last strike. The Dodgers a strike away from beating the Padres for the 8th consecutive time. And everybody on their feet at Dodger Stadium. Boy, if you stayed to the 8th, you were rewarded tonight. Kenley's 0-2 to Marisnick. There's your ball game. What a win. What a night. 11-9 the final score. Dodgers win their 102nd game of the season. Pollock, Bellinger, Betts, Seager, all with home runs along with Max Muncy. The distance is still 2 games behind the Giants.
10, 15 years ago, there was 4 plus 1. Now there's 1 plus 4. Great game by the Dodgers.
Absolutely incredible tonight. What do they do for an encore tomorrow? A very happy Dave Roberts. Dodgers get it done. Maxwell, AJ, and a belly bomb to tie it. For Nomar and Kirsten, I'm Tim Neverett. Stay tuned. Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by your Southern California Ford dealers, comes up now.